I saved $100,000 to my house deposit all by myself in a little over 4 years, and today I'm going to tell you how. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Jess. I'm in the process currently of building my very first home all by myself, which is something I'm so super duper proud of. People often ask me how I saved such a large chunk of money when I wasn't earning a crazy high salary or anything like that. If I can do it, I truly believe that anybody can. So today I want to share all of the things that I did that I felt like really helped. Also, if you are currently saving or if you have saved for a large sum by yourself, I'd be really keen to hear what helped you. I feel like there's always room for growing and improving and things like that, so I'd love to hear your feedback and thoughts. I'm going to start with the thing that made the biggest difference. It's also the thing that nobody wants to hear, and that is I worked multiple jobs. The quickest way to reach a savings goal is by increasing your income. So for me, that looked like working a retail job on the side of my full-time corporate job. I waitressed for a little bit. I picked up odd jobs here and there. I have a lot of friends that work in creative industries, and so if they needed somebody to just be a set of hands for the day, I would always be the first person to offer up my help. In this day and age though, there are so many ways that you can increase your income by having side hustles, whether that be food delivery or rideshare services. You can create content, you can jump on apps like Airtasker or Fiverr and sell your services. There's heaps of different things that you can do. They can be flexible, they can work around whatever job you're doing. Ultimately, more money coming in means more money you can put towards getting to that goal sooner. You just have to be really careful not to fall victim to things like lifestyle creep and start spending more now that you've got it. Next is, for the most part, I forego all of the standard beauty appointments. I get my hair cut maybe twice a year. I have a pair of trimming scissors so I can tidy up things myself if I need to. This is not a good judgment because I've been very stressed lately, but normally I do my own nails, I do my own eyebrows, I don't spray tan, I don't do Botox, I don't do any of those things, and I totally recognize that for some people those might be self-care, but for me they are just so expensive. The cost of being a woman who keeps up with all of those things is just astronomical. It's thousands and thousands of dollars a year, which quite frankly is thousands of dollars that I always knew I would much rather put towards something that was going to be of benefit to me long term, like my house. I think a lot of people think when you are working towards big goals and you are trying to live more frugally, that means giving up things that you love. I know the saying is you can't have your cake and eat it too. I like to think on some level you can. You can still live a life you enjoy and, you know, participate in things that bring you happiness. You just need to be smarter about them. One of the best examples of that for me is clothing, fashion, things of that nature. I really love wearing cute outfits. What I'm wearing makes me feel so much better about myself, and I like experimenting. That does not mean I am always keeping up with current trends. The vast majority of clothing that I buy, I purchase secondhand or on sale. I love a warehouse sale. If you follow me on TikTok, you will have seen me do a lot of warehouse sale previews. I'm always the first in line for a good one. I also just think the rate at which trend cycles and things like that work, things end up on Depop, in op shops, on eBay so quickly. 9 times out of 10, if I have a little bit of patience, if I want a specific item from a specific brand, I can find it on one of those websites for at least half the price, often less. And the flip side of this is when I am done with something, rather than throwing it out or sending it to the op shop, I am always doing my best to resell items. Again, I love Depop and eBay from the seller side as well. I always make sure that I take really good care of my things, take beautiful photos, use lots of keywords, do whatever I can to give it the best chance possible. But even if I sell something for $15 or $20, if I sell 5 of those items, that's $100. I think it's all about getting into that mentality of every little incremental bit counts, because when you're working towards that big objective goal, for me, let's say $100,000, yes, 15 to 20 seems like nothing, a drop in the bucket, but every little bit adds up slowly over time. Every little saving that you can make or extra little bit of money that you can bring in, it propels you forward. It is also very addicting as well. Once you start getting on the sale bandwagon, you'll start looking at everything you own with little dollar signs in your eyes. I swear I cleaned out half our house at one point because I was like, oh, I would just rather have the money. Oh, I forgot to mention Facebook Marketplace is also a good one. It is a bit of a pain as a seller. You do often have to deal with a lot of negotiation and lowballs and whatever, but I do find that consistency and patience tend to pay off for me, especially if people are looking for items to purchase quickly locally. That's always really worked in my favor. While we are talking about clothing, the other thing that has been actually quite profitable for me is renting out my nice dresses. I have quite a few event dresses that I've worn for weddings or for work occasions that are just sitting in my closet not doing anything, and so I've popped them up on a rental website. I personally use the Vault. I haven't tried any others out there, so I can't compare or tell you. For the most part, it's pretty good. It definitely has its flaws, but it does the job. I have seen a lot of girls use Instagram and places like that to just go direct to consumer, my preference is to go through a platform because there's the option for insurance, there's standardized processes. So I've had things returned late or in bad condition, and I've always been able to just go through the proper chain of process and be compensated fairly for that. I don't know how that would work if you were doing it yourself. So I personally just find it easier to make it somebody else's problem. But if you're willing to do the work, you could also do it yourself, which would mean that you would get to keep 100% of the profit. One dress in particular that I love, it's this beautiful Zimmermann dress, and it was one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive dress that I've ever bought. It is paying me at this point. Not only have I covered the many hundreds of dollars that I spent on it, but I am well into the green. I'm making profit, which is awesome. And then eventually one day when I decide that I maybe won't wear them anymore, or I'm sick of renting them out, I will then sell them on. Getting into another area of life, which I feel like is a big leak for a lot of us, which is groceries and eating. Cost of living is brutal right now. And I've definitely had to increase my grocery budget over the years while I was saving to accommodate for that. But I've also tried my best to be really smart about the way I shop. So my number one tip, and if you don't do this, you are missing out, is shop for your groceries cyclically. Most staple items outside of your fresh produce, meat, bread, those sorts of things, go on sale for half price regularly. Cleaning products, spreads, sweets, chips, all those sorts of things. If you look at the data, there is a clear pattern in how frequently they go on sale. And so what I will do is I will always stock up on things when they are half price. Dishwashing detergent is half price. Great. I'm buying two, so I've always got a backup one, which means that if I run out while it's in, the peak of the cycle, while it's retailing for full price or maybe 90% of the value or whatever, I've got a backup. And then the next time that half price sale comes around, I purchase another one so that there's always one sitting there ready to go. There's actually a really great plugin. I can't remember the guy's name from TikTok, but I will link his TikTok and I will link the plugin link in the description bar. You attach the plugin to your browser and that will show you the actual data. So you can see week on week what those sale prices look like. You can see what the peak and the pit of them are, and then you can plan your grocery shopping accordingly. For the love of God, don't pay full price for those things. Why would you, when you know that you can get them for a 50% discount? Coles and Woolies cycles are often opposite as well. So if one is full price at one place, there's a very good chance that it will be on a significant sale at the other. Now this might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but getting our groceries delivered or using meal kit delivery services like HelloFresh and Marley Spoon is another way that has saved us a lot of money. The delivery, I will only ever do it if it's the $4 slot because I refuse to pay more than that. But we do our shop about once a fortnight. So that's $2 a week. And what it means is we're not getting distracted by things we see in the supermarket. Both my partner and I are huge suckers for just seeing something we want and throwing it straight in the basket. Whereas when we order things, you're only getting exactly what you need. You're seeing the prices, the total online before you check out. The only thing that I'll sometimes get in store is meat and produce, just because I like to be able to check, the expiry date and the quality of it. But apart from that, everything else we just get delivered straight here. And the bonus is I don't have to lug it around from my car to the house. Now on the meal kit delivery side of things, I have done the math, and typically speaking, the cost per meal works out to be approximately the same, often a little bit better than what it would be to get the same ingredients from the supermarket. But the real win comes in with their customer retention discounts. HelloFresh especially is notorious for wanting to keep you. If you go to cancel your plan, I think they immediately offer you a 20% discount. And if you go away for a while and then come back, you can often get up to 40%. 40% off of your week's meals is a huge, huge discount. And as someone who also does not like to cook, I don't enjoy it at all. Having something easy, pre-prepared, organized in my fridge, ready to go, it means that I'm not reaching for my Uber Eats app as frequently and just paying an astronomical amount of money for something that I could make myself for a third of the cost. And then when it comes to going out, I might sound a little bit boring, but I'm not a huge drinker. And if I am drinking, I like a cocktail. Those are $25 to $30 a drink. So being one and done is perfectly fine for me. Thank God I'm a one drink wonder. I personally just feel like that money is better spent elsewhere. I do also really like platforms like Eat Club that let you get in at maybe slightly less convenient times, but you can enjoy, again, big discounts on those meals, which to me makes it feel very worth it. My lucky last recommendation, which again, if you follow me on social media, you would know this: sign up for every rewards point system that exists. I am a Flybuys member. I'm a Woolies rewards member, Velocity, Qantas frequent flyer, you name it, I probably have it. Just like Coles and Woolies often have opposing sales, different platforms or different point systems will also often have different offers. If I'm shopping at Coles, I want to get Flybuys points, but then if the sale's at Woolies, well, I might as well collect everyday rewards points. I do have a preferred ecosystem, which for me is Flybuys, because I often get petrol at 7-Eleven and I typically fly Velocity for work. And so for me, that all works really well together. but it's not going to stop me from still utilizing other reward systems where it's relevant. Those points can then either be used to pay for groceries, you can use them to purchase things that you need. Like I paid for our vacuum a couple of years ago completely with points. It didn't cost us $1 and it was something that we really needed. If there's a tech item or something like that that I want to save up for, I will often look and see what I can do with points to get me there. Also taking advantage of the special deals, so having the apps for all of these platforms. I know for Flybuys they sometimes have bonus points deals, Velocity will often have something similar. Every dollar you spend is so precious. I just think we should be doing everything that we can to maximize the value of what it's bringing back to us, and reward systems really help you to do that. And that's it. It's really honestly not rocket science. It's just about being a little bit smarter, a little bit savvier, sometimes thinking a little bit harder about the things that you're doing. But as I said, I did it on a very average salary, and if I can do it, anybody else can too. I'm really excited to read the comments about what systems and processes work for you guys, because I'm always trying to save money. Now that I'm building the house, you'd think I'd maybe have eased up a bit. Absolutely not. We're now saving furniture and other fun things. So I'm definitely still hustling hard and I'm excited to put your ideas to work. As always, if you've got questions, leave them in the comments. In the description bar, I'll link that plugin that I mentioned earlier along with my social media. I'm always posting fun little updates on Instagram and TikTok. So definitely come hang out there if you're not already. Also subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to be making lots of content like this going forward. And if you've got any requests, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.